I used to have such a difficult time coming from blowjobs, and I want to share with you how you can rewrite this story. Hey guys, I'm Grendi, a men's sex coach here to help you overcome performance anxiety in the bedroom and become the best lover you can be. Today I want to share 3 reasons why you might find it difficult to come during a blowjob. I know I'm usually talking about premature ejaculation, but this is also another form of performance anxiety that I experienced in my life, and that is the inability to ejaculate during a blowjob. No matter who the partner was, how they were doing it, didn't matter how attractive I thought they were, it still wasn't happening for me. After it started happening over and over and over again, I started to build this limiting belief that I just can't come from blowjobs, and that was just who I was. And in order for me to ejaculate, I had to have penetrative sex. And of course, this just is a huge limiting belief. And this limiting belief, it stopped me from having what I believe is one of the most amazing experiences we can have as men, which is just sitting back, relaxing, and receiving oral sex. The first reason why men might find it difficult to come during a blowjob is performance anxiety. I felt so much pressure to perform and to be able to come during a blowjob that I was completely stuck in my head and unable to feel the pleasure and sensations in my body. I was trying so hard to come, and I was just trying to will it in my head, thinking like, come on, please, let's come. Trying to think of everything I could, and it just wasn't working. It actually made it worse and that much harder for me to come during a blowjob. The truth is, you can't force pleasure. You have to be able to surrender, relax, and receive that pleasure. Another performance anxiety that I experienced during oral sex was this expectation that if I didn't come, that meant I wasn't attracted to my partner, she didn't turn me on, she wasn't doing it right, and this could possibly upset her and make her feel really bad. With that extra pressure and expectation, thinking, okay, if I don't come right now, I'm gonna hurt my partner, that kind of filled me with guilt and shame, and that made it that much more difficult for me to be able to be present, feel pleasure, and actually be able to ejaculate. The best solution if you're experiencing this type of performance anxiety during oral sex is to connect back to your breath and lose all expectations of coming during the blowjob. You want to just completely release yourself of all this pressure, get out of your head, get back into your body, and just experience the sensations that are happening. If you take away this expectation to ejaculate, then there's no more need to perform. There's no more pressure. You can just relax and enjoy the actual act that's happening to you. The second reason why you might find it difficult to come during a blowjob is because of shame. In so many ways, society has suppressed female pleasure and tried to demonize and label women who are promiscuous and enjoy sexual acts as something that's not okay or not good, especially in certain religions and religious beliefs. As a result, this can make us believe that women who give blowjobs are slutty or promiscuous, and then there can be some shame around, why do I want to be with a slut? Or I shouldn't be with a girl who is slutty. And of course, this is totally ridiculous, and this is just society, religion, different types of conditioning that are suppressing our pleasure and sexuality. Personally, I didn't experience this type of shame, but when I've talked to other men, it has this effect where they feel like this guilt that I don't want to make this girl that I really like be a slut. If I accept a blowjob from her, then I'm turning her into a slut. And good girls don't do that, and I want my girlfriend to be a good girl. This is obviously a totally warped perception of reality that I certainly don't agree with, and this is just something that society and religion has put on us to make us feel this shame around sexuality. One way you can get over this shame is to share this experience and perception with your partner about how you feel about blowjobs. If you are experiencing this shame, you can just share, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I've been conditioned to think, and that's why I don't feel good about receiving a blowjob. And I feel bad making you give me a blowjob because I feel like I'm making you do something you're not supposed to do. This might be a difficult conversation to have, but it's such an important thing. You might find out that your partner actually loves to give blowjobs, and maybe she'll support you and say, hey, there is no reason to have this type of shame. This is something that I love to do and I want to give to you. And this can help you understand like, oh, okay, it's not bothering her. I have nothing to be ashamed about. And then you can be able to experience this beautiful pleasure. If you're able to talk about this and release the shame, then you can start to see her in a good way no matter what, even if she gives you a blowjob or not. The third and final reason why you might find it difficult to come during a blowjob is because of an inability to receive. If you are too much of a people pleaser and you feel like you always need to give, then you might have some guilt associated with the ability to receive pleasure. This can also result in not being able to ask for what you want. So you might be getting a blowjob from your partner and it's not actually the way that you want it to be. So instead of asking for what you want and saying, hey, that feels good, but can you try this? You just internalize it and kind of think, okay, maybe I'll just stop this in the middle and instead have intercourse or pleasure her. And that's obviously a way that you're suppressing your own pleasure. The best way to try and deal with this inability to receive is to know deep within yourself that you deserve pleasure too, and you can ask for what you want in the bedroom. If you are going to discuss with your partner what you like during oral sex, it's best to have that conversation outside of the bedroom and talk about it in a more casual place, like going for a walk or at a coffee shop, because you don't want to have this pressure to then perform the act right on the spot. Instead, if you take it outside of the bedroom, you can have a really amicable, very chill conversation about it where everyone can digest the information, think about it, maybe you can talk about it again, get really comfortable, and then when you're ready to try it, you can do it in the bedroom. If you try these techniques and you're still experiencing extreme performance anxiety, click the link in the description to get my free training on how you can last as long as you want in the bedroom and pleasure any woman in ways she'll never forget. I hope this video was of value to you, and if it was, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. Have you experienced performance anxiety, shame, or the inability to receive during a blowjob? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section, and feel free to suggest topics for new videos. I'm Alex Grendi from Superior Lovers, and I'll see you around.